Chamisa rules out street violence over jailed Sikhala. Zim banks have gone rogue. Majority of Zim youths unhappy. More than 260,000 on waiting list for land. Triple C supporters arrested traveling to rally vehicles impounded. Sithole Chikerama owner Mnangagwa vote buying Ruse. Two bogus cops arrested for extorting motorists. Police recruits nabbed for forging O-level results. And in sports news, Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspurs match. Thomas Tuchel and Antonio Conte sent off after late Tottenham controversial equalizer. And now for the news in detail. Citizens Coalition for Change Triple C leader Nelson Chamisa has said his party is a non-violent movement and will not engage in any mayhem. Chamisa has faced criticism over the party's failure to press more forcibly for the release of jailed legislators Job Sikhala and Godfrey Sithole, together with a dozen other party activists. They were arrested for allegedly inciting public violence mid-June this year and have had several bail applications rejected by the courts. Chamisa said his party has engaged the Southern African Development Community and African Union concerning the abuse of the courts by the ruling ZANU-PF party. The opposition leader also scorned at ZANU-PF party claims that he was behind sensational allegations by Australia-based Zimbabwean Susan Mutami, who claimed to have been raped as a minor by President Emmerson Mnangagwa. President Emmerson Mnangagwa says most of Zimbabwe's banks have gone rogue and are operating in contravention of the country's laws. Writing in his column in the Sunday Mail, he said only 31% of deposit-taking institutions passed a recent integrity test. Efforts to get further information relating to the identity of the culprits and their specific crimes from RBZ Governor John Mnangagwa were fruitless, but Mnangagwa said devious saboteurs had attacked the country's mobile banking platforms before government plugged loopholes. He said the culprits then turned to the financial sector. Mnangagwa said his government had to take drastic actions in May, including freezing all lending by banks so that the Financial Intelligence Unit could move in and carry out thorough investigations to account for all culprits and for all those aiding and abetting the corruption. Mnangagwa recently claimed that there was a ring of economic saboteurs working against his regime and causing unnecessary price hikes. A recent Afrobarometer perception index on how governments are addressing the needs of young people has ranked Zimbabwe 11 out of the 34 countries surveyed in terms of meaningful youth empowerment. The report, titled Government Performance in Addressing the Needs of Young People 2019 to 2021, stated that only 20% of youths in Zimbabwe felt that their government handled their needs well. During the survey, respondents were asked questions like how well or badly they would say their government was handling the needs of the youth. Tanzania and Botswana topped the list in terms of addressing the needs of the youth with 63% and 55% respectively, while Sudan and Gabon ranked among the lowest at 9% and 11% respectively. On Friday, Zimbabwe joined the rest of the world in commemorating the International Youth Day. This year's theme was Intergenerational Solidarity, Creating a World for All Ages. The Southern Africa Resource Watch SARW said youth should be enabled to participate in key economic sectors in their countries, such as mining and other socio-economic development activities. Agriculture Minister Anxious Masuka has said at least 261,000 people are on the waiting list to be allocated farms. Masuka was speaking during a field day in Kwekwe before putting unproductive farmers on notice. The senior government official confirmed that at least 304 whites are occupying farms in the country. Masuka also said government has taken 99% of land from former white farmers. He said nearly 300,000 black farmers are occupying both A1 and A2 farms. The list of people in need of farming land is increasing and at least 261,000 are on the waiting list. Government is reserving 20% of its land for youths and 20% for liberation war fighters. Police in Masvingo recently arrested some Citizens Coalition for Change Triple C supporters who were heading to a victory celebration rally at Mocheke Stadium on Sunday. The supporters, who were reportedly coming from Mashava and Jishavane, were later released and allowed to attend the rally, which was addressed by party leader Nelson Chamisa. According to human rights lawyer Martin Mureri, who is representing the group, the supporters were released, but their vehicles remained impounded. Masvingo Police spokesperson Inspector Kudakwashe Dewa could not be drawn to comment as his mobile number was not going through. Thousands gathered at Mocheke Stadium amid heavy police presence in the ancient city's CBD and residential areas. On Saturday, police reportedly banned a Triple C gathering in Chipinge, where Nelson Chamisa was scheduled to address his supporters. Renowned political analyst and publisher Ibo Mandaza has described President Emmerson Mnangagwa's belated honor bestowed on Dabaningi Sithole and James Chikerama as a vote-buying gimmick targeted at the late pioneering nationalist sympathizers ahead of elections next year. Mnangagwa recognized Sithole and Chikerama as national heroes on the occasion of the country's 42nd Heroes Day commemorations last week. Both were allies turned enemies of late former state leader Robert Mugabe, who adamantly denied them the honor due to grudges dating back to the trenches in the liberation struggle. Sithole hailed from Chipinge and Chikerama from Mashonaland West, with both commanding a strong sentiment from their tribesmen. For more and these stories, do check out our website on www.zimdaily.com. Join me after this short break. Welcome back. Two bogus policemen allegedly driving around Harare in their getaway car and stealing thousands of US dollars after accusing motorists of having violated traffic rules have now been arrested, while police continue hunting for three accomplices, including a woman. The arrested two are former police officers, Kabinara Fraser Chengetai, 38 of Unit 02nd Chitungwiza, who was discharged from the police service on November 19, 2009 for being unsuitable for duty, and Shelton Chingwecha, 33 of New Zengeza 5 in Chitungwiza. The two are alleged to have stolen cash ranging from between $10 and $2,224 from more than 7 motorists after accusing them of driving while using cell phones, interfering with government officials' motorcades, dangerous parking, and negligently driving in security areas, among other offenses. They would travel around with one wearing a police uniform and using face police identification cards. Their arrest follows an upsurge in cases of people impersonating police officers and robberies, with these criminals targeting motorists traveling in and around central Harare since April this year. Several police recruits were arrested for allegedly forging their ordinary level certificates with the help of a Zimbabwe School Examinations Council employee. The issue came out when Marian Maonera, 22, appeared before Harare magistrate Yaukai Zuda on Saturday, charged with fraud. Maonera was remanded in custody to today for bail application. The complainant is the state represented by Siposami Chuma, a superintendent in the Zimbabwe Republic Police stationed at the Police General Headquarters Recruiting Section. Maonera is undergoing police initial training at ZRP Mkushi Training Depot. Allegations are that on April 18, 2021, the police flighted an advertisement in newspapers inviting individuals who met police recruitment criteria to apply. A deadly measles outbreak has hit Zimbabwe, killing 80 people so far, while there are 1,036 suspected cases, the Health and Child Care Ministry has said. Measles is a highly contagious respiratory tract viral infection which commonly affects children and is spread through sneezing, coughing, and by touching or contact with secretions of an affected individual. Health and Child Care Secretary Jasper Chimeza said the outbreak was reported on April 10 in Mutasa District, Manicaland Province, and had spread nationwide, possibly because of church gatherings. Manicaland has the highest number of 356 cases and 45 deaths. Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Governor John Mnangagwa faced rare criticism for his tough inflation containment strategy at the weekend, as FBC Securities warned of grave consequences, including stunted growth for the country. Following a difficult year in which corrective measures failed to rein in surging inflation and prices, the RBZ chief roughed up his hawkish monetary policy stance in a midterm monetary policy statement on Thursday, as he maintained targets to push quarterly reserve money growth to 0%. The strategy has already precipitated subdued spending, with a serious knock-on effect on business and economic growth, but Mnangagwa gained fresh impetus to fight the inflation rage after regimes announced by authorities about 3 months ago helped him cut excess reserves. Zimbabwe dollar bank balances 2.34% in June this year from 55.6% 12 months earlier. And now we take a look at our sport news. Blue boss Thomas Tuchel and Tottenham head coach Antonio Conte went head-to-head in an escalating squabble that ended with both receiving post-match red cards. While the touchline tiff threatened to overshadow a thrilling Premier League affair, Tuchel was arguably more angry with referee Anthony Taylor at the final whistle than he was with chirpy counterpart Conte. So that match ended 2-2 on the goal aggregate. It was sorry about that, we lost signal a bit. Spurs equalizer lights the fire. A match that contained so much chaos in its final quarter was actually a relatively calm occasion with few fouls and just two cautions up until the 68th minute when all the hell broke loose. That was when Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg's 20-yard Daisy Carter cancelled out Kalidou Koulibaly's volley opener, and former Blues boss Conte egged Tuchel with his animated fist-pumping jubilation. Tuchel squared up to his opposite number before both benches and officials stepped up to separate the pair as Chelsea's protestations about the legitimacy of the goal began. Kai Havertz complained he had been fouled by Rodrigo Bentancur in the build-up, while Spurs substitute Richarlison appeared offside and in the line of sight of Chelsea keeper Eduardo Mendy when Hojbjerg let fly. Chelsea felt justice was served when Rhys James rifled them back ahead 9 minutes later, sparking a Mourinho-esque charge down the sidelines from Tuchel. But then in the final minute of 6 added on, Harry Kane's glancing header snatched Spurs a barely deserved point. Cue more pandemonium in the dugout as Conte and Tuchel again clashed, the latter enraged by Christian Romero's hair pull on fullback Marc Cucurella at the corner that preceded Kane's goal. Real Madrid opened their La Liga title defense with a hard-fought victory as they came from a goal down to beat Almeria. Former Manchester United striker Largi Ramazani fired Almeria into a shock lead after just 6 minutes. Home goalkeeper Fernando Martinez made a series of saves to frustrate Real before Lucas Vázquez leveled. David Alaba struck the winner from a free kick with his first touch after coming off the bench. Having beaten Eintracht Frankfurt in Wednesday's UEFA Super Cup, Real came into the new La Liga season in confident mood, but they were left stunned when Belgian forward Ramazani, who left United in 2020 after coming through their youth ranks, beat the offside trap and fired past Alcutas to put Almeria ahead. Thwarted by Fernando on several occasions, Rio thought they had leveled just before the break, but Vasquez's well-taken volley was chalked off for offside. Vasquez got his goal, however, in the 61st minute when the ball fell kindly to him after a burst of pace from the lively Vinicius Jr. With 15 minutes remaining, Rio boss Carlo Ancelotti turned to Alaba and the former Bayern Munich player smashed a brilliant left-footed free kick past Fernando within seconds of replacing Balimendi. And now to end the news bulletin, let us take a look at the stories making the headlines. Chamisa rules out street violence over jailed Sikhala. Zim banks have gone wrong. Majority of Zim youths unhappy. More than 261,000 on waiting list for land. Triple C supporters arrested traveling to rally. Vehicles impounded. Sithole Chikerama owner Mnangagwa vote buying Ruse. 2 bogus cops arrested for extorting motorists, and police recruits nabbed for forging O-level certificates. Thank you so much for tuning in for our news bulletin right here on Zimbabwe Daily. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of day.